Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. This is your morning briefing where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. Starting now with news, the US Federal Reserve is still doing the twist. However, it's not going ahead with suggestions for a third round of quantitative easing or money printing. Today, the US Federal Reserve announced its latest monetary policy decision. Essentially, it's not doing any more. There was one dissenter to this decision. However, there were three in previous meetings. The one dissenter wanted to do more, to print more. The US Federal Reserve sees growth in the US slightly better in the third quarter. However, it has lowered its growth forecast for 2012 to around about 2.7%. And it still sees America's unemployment rate around 8.6% through to late 2012. Bernanke, the US Federal Reserve Chairman, saw significant risks on the downside for the US economy. In a news conference, he said he was able to do more to print more money, but he was holding off for now. US stocks are up about 1.5% in late trade. They didn't move much on the US Federal Reserve. European stocks, however, they were up between 1% and 2% after the big shock yesterday of Greece's decision to hold a referendum on Euro membership. But the European crisis is still on. The focus is now on Italy, where right now there's a crisis meeting going on where Silvio Berlusconi is looking at ways to keep the rest of the world happy, and particularly the bond vigilantes. Also, he wants to take something to the G20 summit, which will be held in Cannes tonight. Italian bond yields are simply unsustainable. At 6.3%, that is not able to be handled in the long run. There will be a Greek confidence vote on Friday, and we saw the Greek credit default swap spreads, one measure of stress in the markets, rise to 8,900 points, up 5,700 in a day. New Zealand, remember, is just less than 100. Interestingly, Germany's credit default swaps up near New Zealand-style levels, and Italy, 515 points. They're in deep trouble. Meanwhile, the international finance houses have said that bank recapitalisations in Europe are in serious trouble. They say that banks are looking to sell bonds and cut loans. And finally, the New Zealand dollar under 79 US cents this morning. It has been over 82 cents as recently as Monday. All this turmoil on global markets pushes the New Zealand dollar down. The focus today will be on unemployment figures, where New Zealand's unemployment rate expected to fall very slightly to 6.4% from 6.5%. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand.